Now, just a bit of teaching on the issue of tithe and offering. Some say, tukapasandra kuchechi, the pastor will buy a new suit, they'll buy new shoes, and they'll buy maybe new cars. Maybe just a guidance, because some they say, no, when we give to the church, it means they are giving to the pastor to use on his personal issues. Maybe just try to make people understand the importance of giving tithe as well as offering, and that myth that people have, that when I give much, just going to make the pastor rich, because all that money is going to the pastor.
Why don't they want the pastor to eat or to be dressed like them? You see, that's the devil's lie. A bishop or a pastor eats from what is given to God. It is God you are giving to, and God gives to his servant a certain portion according to. Even in the Old Testament it was just like that. So there are some people who are so selfish, they don't want the pastor to have anything good. You have your own portion in what they bring to God. If they bring big things to bless God and they bless the pastor, it is okay. But we want the pastor to suffer so that we manipulate him. And these are the challenges we are facing today. A people who don't want the pastor to have anything good. They would rather have him walk because they are walking. But this one is a public figure. He is the image of the entire church. All the members, rich and poor, is the one who speaks for them and who stands for them. And the top executive in whatever organization should be the image of the company. Even the pastor is the image of the kingdom of God. So why do you want the pastor to look shabby? Again, what and what? They start talking about you. And yet you don't feed him. I pity a lot of pastors, and I'm very passionate about that. I'm passionate about pastors. Some young pastors can't send their children to good schools, can't even send them to good clinics and hospitals, and that's a sin. This is a person who toils day and night. I remember there was a time when this man came from his home in the night, about 10 p.m. He knocked. When I just saw him, I knew there was trouble. And with him, he said, my daughter is sick. And it was about 7 miles in the bush. I had no choice but to start walking. I couldn't even see where I was stepping. When I got home, I found people had gathered in that house. Little did I know that she had died. And then all I did was to trust God. They didn't even tell me she was dead. After prayer, then the Lord raised that girl up, and everybody rejoiced. That was about 10 p.m. and 7 miles. What time did we arrive there? That's what pastors do. You call them, they'll come running. And you don't want them to have a car to drive. You know the inconvenience that causes. Some people are just selfish and greedy. Let me give you an example of greed. There was a teacher, and he went to the kids, and he had some sweets. He said, make a line. The big boys came and stood in front, and the little ones were at the back. Then he said, oh, this is a line of greed. Then he said, about 10. And all of them turned the other way. Then he started giving from the little one, coming to the big one. He called it the line of greed. If there are greedy people that I've ever seen, some of these Christians are. Even the government cares for its people. They give them even packages, retirement and what. Some of these churches don't even think about it. But pastor has a family. So don't be misled by those who say you're giving to the pastor to eat, to buy a car. If you want to buy a pastor a car, buy him. If you want to clothe him, clothe him. I've known people who have clothed